Our headlines today. Police and rioters clash in the French city of Marseille as the country battles with a fifth night of unrest.
The boss of NHS England says that children and adults are being bombarded with gambling adverts as more addiction clinics are opened to deal with demand.
In sport, England need a captain's innings from Ben Stokes as they try to stay in the Ashes. It's after another day of Australian dominance at Lord's with both the bat and the ball.
And is curling the next victim of the cost of living crisis? There are concerns for the future of the sport as ice rinks close due to energy costs.
Let's have a look at what's making the headlines on the front pages of today's Sunday papers. We'll kick off with the Sunday Times. It leads this morning with a story about asbestos in schools, and the paper claims that an estimated 10,000 pupils and staff have been killed by exposure to the substance since the 1980s.
And moving on to the Sunday Telegraph, and it says hundreds of miles of overhead cables and pylons are expected to be fast-tracked through the planning system. That's to meet targets to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to net zero, and it says that's despite local opposition.
Let's take a look at The Observer, leading this morning with an investigation which The Observer itself has done, which has found that two-thirds of England's biggest water companies now employ key executives who had previously worked for Ofwat. Ofwat, of course, is the watchdog which is responsible for regulating the water companies.
Now look at the BBC News website, and it's reporting comments from the head of the CIA, who says the war in Ukraine is having a corrosive effect on Vladimir Putin's leadership of Russia. He made the remarks while delivering the annual lecture at the Ditchley Foundation held in the UK.